the degree that he got, DOS?
DEA, degré d'études approfondies.
Is above a master?
It's above a master, yes. It comes after la maîtrise, so yeah.
It's like a PhD?
It's not a PhD because what you need is what you would call being a candidate in the US. After that diploma, you write a thesis to get a PhD. You see, so you basically, that's when you're ready to start writing a thesis.
And that, I must have missed it. That degree was in what?
Economy, economy.
Economics.
Yeah.
Oh, so he knew some statistics. He had to know some.
Yeah, exactly. He knew some statistics, some stuff.
Okay. Your mother, was she good at math?
No. Well, you know something, maybe she was, but she never finished high school, and for her it was just, first of all, she was a woman in Haiti, you know, they didn't think an interest of, you know, women going to school, you know, it's more just the men. But also because her parents had some issues, she could not finish. Even though she was very good at language, I mean, her French speaking and her French writing is perfect. Gosh, really so good, it's kind of amazing. I don't think mommy was not. I was just weird. I think because my other siblings were not into math. I think, you know, that's the way I was. I was pretty good in math. Just, you know, I think it was just I was weird.
Do you remember whatever the equivalent of is in first grade over in Morocco?
Yeah.
From the beginning, were you good at math?
Oh yeah. I mean,
the arithmetic came quickly.
Yeah, if it was not even. Yeah, I mean, really very good. Yeah, that's true. Because I remember there was a grade I repeated that, you know, because over there you do that. It was like the last grade of elementary school, and it's true. I was just floundering, and it was obvious that I was floundering because, let's say in mathematics, I only had one grade, which was 100%. I couldn't miss anything. But by the time I got to that year, in math I was still getting A, and I was probably very close to the best in the class. But suddenly I was not getting 100%. I was like maybe getting 95%. And if I was getting 95% in math, it means that everything else was going bad. You know, because for me that's it means that I was having the material was catching up with me. And then once I repeated that class, I got back to my usual.
You were confident from a young age at math.
Well, yeah. You know something? It's very funny that you said yes, is because I don't know about confidence, it's just that I could always do it. Do you understand? I don't... Really, it's only when we came to the upper level, you know, maybe in high school, because we did some tough stuff. I'm going to show you some of my high school baccalaureate exam. I mean, if I give you to my grad class now, I could scare them a little bit. Yeah, so you had to do some thinking. But before that, whatever the person gave, I could do. You know, it just. But that's the only skill I had. I couldn't do any. You know, I was terrible in French. I was terrible in. You know, I cannot write very well. Yeah.
You know what I heard that if you, how do you say? If you're asked to memorize a string of numbers, and you compare English versus Chinese speakers. Chinese,
they're pretty good at it.
They're good at it, they say, because the
characters,
the words for the numbers are very short and one syllables, whereas in English it's like 17, 28.
So
it's longer. So children, when they're young Chinese children, can memorize a longer string of numbers than young English-speaking children.
Okay. Now, for me, I thought it's because, you see, since in China you have a huge amount of characters. You know, I mean, you know, you need to know 3,000 characters to be able to read a newspaper. By the time you go to high school, I think if you graduate high school, you're around 6,000 to 7,000. If you're around 10,000, you're really a superstar. And you're like, you're college. Right? If you know 12,000 characters, you're good. Because I've got some Chinese friends that are very close to 15,000 characters, and they're like... So because you have so many characters to memorize, you're used to memorizing huge amount of stuff, do you understand? Now for me, that exercise will not work at all because I'm dyslexic, so for me, you give me 7 numbers, I'm in trouble already.
Same.
Do you understand?
Well, I'm not dyslexic, but I can't.
I'm dyslexic for me, so I kind of move them around. I mean, I could maybe rewrite them, but so for me, no, that exercise was never... No, you know what it is? It's when I was a kid. It's true. You show me something, and I kind of knew. You know, that was never the issue. Yeah, you're right. The multiplication table, I could memorize them, but it was more putting stuff together. And that was also the French system. You know, the French system was putting stuff together, and you see, that's the part I enjoyed. Do you understand? Stuff I already know does not. I mean, I know it's fine, but it's new. So in that sense, I was pretty good. Yeah, I was just in math. I was pretty good. I've got to admit, I would imagine you were very good in math too. I don't think it scares you too much.
When I was young, I was good, but never the best.
Oh.
And then as a teenager, I lost interest.
Oh. So
I was never as good as I could have been.
Yeah, but hold it. If you went to College Park as a mechanical engineer, your grade had to pick up somewhere.
I was above average, but I was also lazy, so I never got to see how good I could be at math.
Okay.
But I started college and I struggled with math.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Because I had laid off of it for a couple of years. But then I fell in love with it again in college.
Well, like I said, at college, I told you this Cal 3 thing, I told you, shocked the hell out of me.
Mm.
And it's really when I got back, I told you, to the proof stuff. That's then I'm like, oh yeah, we need to go back to the math.
How long have you been teaching?
I started grad school in 81. It took me a long time with my PhD, so since 80. Because in Maryland, you know, at College Park, once you're a TAU, I mean, you're teaching classes on your own, you know. So since 81, so what are we talking, 36 years, 37 years? No, I'm fair, man, no. I mean, I've got experience now.
What were we talking about the other day? Students cheating?
Oh yeah, but that's, yeah, but I don't know if we should talk about that here.
Oh, okay, no.
Yeah, you should. It is true that, well, let's move on. Let's, maybe we should stay off that. Okay.
You notice that most of the world treats math as a chore?
I totally notice it. So then the question, okay, so then, look, my wife is also, a math person. And so for us, it's a question that we ask all the time. Why does everybody treat math exactly like this as a chore? So then we cannot say it's cultural, because everybody does it. Now some people handle it better. So somehow intrinsically, the subject must have some difficulty. Or maybe we can say nobody has found yet the way, like you said, to actually teach the subject, or to introduce the subject to young children. I bet you that arithmetic, I don't think people take it as a chore. Because people know ultimately how to add things. I mean, I've got students who, if you give them a problem, 5 plus 10 or whatever, they're going to refuse to add it. However, when they go shopping, you're not going to steal money from them. Do you understand? If that dress costs $17.83, that one costs $45, whatever, trust me, when it's their own money, they know the total. Yeah. I've never seen somebody get confused about that. Great. When it's the real world, you're like, oh no. So that shows you that if it's put in the right context, they get it right away. Do you agree?
I used to tell my students when I taught probability statistics, best way to learn probability statistics is go to a casino and gamble with your own money.
Because then you say, oh, you're going to see, right away you're going to say there's something wrong. Yeah. No, you're right. So that's always the shock to me, because that's also what I said to somebody. You come in and we talk about percentage, I don't understand percentage. But I bet you, they go there and the guy says there's a 30% sale, they're going to have an idea right away what the markup's got to, the markdown has to be. Do you agree? They're going to say, oh no, this doesn't look like 30% that you took off, So ultimately, when it's put in the right condition, most human beings get on it right away. You see, it's maybe when we go to the academic exercise. And you're right. Like I said, for me, since life was easy. I mean, look, I teach, the analysis class. I'm on second semester, the graduate one. So we do some epsilon delta. We do some stuff. And the thing which is surprising to me, there are some proofs that I look at, a bit of in the book, and they're hard for me. I've got to look at them, and I understand most of them. But I'm like, this is a hard proof. And the reason is because I've got to understand step by step. That's hard for everybody. In a sense, the only quality I've had, in a sense, I mean, if it's a gift that God gave me, I mean, I don't. Usually, I can see the proof in front of my eyes right now. As I'm talking to you, there are certain theorems where You talk to me, and the proof is in front of my eyes. I'm just reading it. It's like zero effort, because I see it. And of course, when you see it, it's easy to do it. Anybody can do that. If if you're just reading something, you're going to read it and you're going to do it. But when you have to do a proof kind of from cold, you kind of have to remember step by step, and that's kind of hard. And that's where, so at one point you want to get into the habit where you can kind of see the proof. You kind of see. And that's the thing I've got to soon with. I don't know if you can Kirby, Miss Ash, and so on, is we did some very hard work, I think 6 months ago, whatever, and he's going to present it as a senior seminar. That was too hard. Actually, the project was a bit too hard for an undergraduate, but the kid was pretty good, and we were feeling in the mood, and we worked hard for 6 weeks. I mean, really hard. I mean, 7 weeks. And there was a proof that, I kind of had to look at the book, and the proof was hard. I mean, the proof really, I thought about it for a long time, and I got whooped, and I came back on it. And then when I met my student last week, exactly a week ago, something we had done 6 months ago, so I kind of forgotten. I need to go back to it. I'm looking at the proof, and suddenly I understand what it's all about. And once I see it, it's trivial. I mean, I can redo it now anytime, because I've unlocked the key, in a sense. Do you understand? So I know what I've got to do, I know what needs to be done, and it becomes, a triviality.